Man, I've got some stories. So I'm a part-time Uber driver. It's something I like to do. It gives me a lot of flexibility with everything else that I have going on in my life. And this last week was very interesting. Um, I drove, so many different people, but I think it was Friday night. I picked up these girls to go to a birthday party at some restaurant. And the first girl that I picked up, she probably like 10 seconds after she got in the car, she got a phone call. And I got the music on, and I could just hear in the tone of her voice, it's like, ooh, that's either a very like controlling parent, or it's her boyfriend. And I was right. It was her boyfriend. And after the phone call and all, well, I mean, even towards the end of it, just as we were picking up her friend, she was saying how, I shouldn't really give away too many details, but essentially how she wants him to be more kind, more sweet, more present, to not yell at her, and to try to understand where she's coming from. And she's like, okay, all right, I'm about to pick up whoever, I'll talk to you later. And you think, okay, cool, conversation's gonna end. Guys, this guy kept her on the phone for another like 3 minutes. Same kind of he did not let go. He could not. It couldn't be it for him. Obviously that means he needed some sort of reassurance. He doubted himself so much that he kept her on the phone, because like he had to keep pressing her. And it's like, bro, get off the phone. Let her enjoy her vacation. Enjoy your vacation. Later I found out that like apparently this always happens when somebody goes away. When somebody goes away, somebody's like, he's always checking in. And it's like, let her miss you. Let her have fun. You go have fun. You're with your friends. Go. She wants you to go have friends. Like, it's good to miss each other. That's what makes, coming back together, like, man, I missed you so much, babe. Like, if you're constantly in touch and also berating the person while they're trying to have a good time with their friends, oh man, that's one of the things that really destroys relationships. Because where does that come from? What's the basis of that? What's the foundation? It's fear. It's insecurity. It's I feel like I'm not enough. That I won't be loved by this person. And then guess what happens? They end up leaving you. That's usually what ends up happening. Sometimes after a few months of just toxicity. But and when this girl's girlfriend came in, they were chatting about it, and she's like, well, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna break up with him? And she's like, no, I'm gonna see how he reacts. And she's like, yeah, that's always a fun thing, or something like that. I'm like, wow, you ladies, really? So you're admitting that you test guys? And they're like, oh yeah, it's so much fun. I laughed so hard because I knew it. I mean, I know women test. They do it for a specific reason. And I'm sure maybe whether today when this video uploads, or 2 years from now, I'm going to get comments from either guys or some girls like, no, women don't do that. It's games. Look, whether you want to call it games, tests, challenges, whatever it is, it's what women naturally do. And that's okay. It seems like it's not okay when you fight it, when you realize that it's a natural thing, that it comes down to, or it goes back to, centuries, eons, thousands of years ago, when in tribes and stuff, women needed to know that they were safe in their community, with everybody there, that they would be protected, that they could raise children, that whatever they were doing, that they had a safe haven to live, to come back to, all that they are protected. How many thousands of years later, now with phones and cars and all this kinds of technology, that the safety, the protection, the need for that is still there. It's just tweaked now. Women want to know that if they're having a bad day, that it's not going to trigger you, where you end up thinking, oh, is it something about me? Is it something about me? That's projection. That's, where I've mentioned in several videos where we're kind of like mirrors. So when we see something, if we still have that insecurity within us, it's like, oh man, it must be about me. No, it's not about you. The person's just having a bad day, and all she wants is either space or just a comforting, shoulder, or just ask, hey, how was your day, honey? Or even if it's not somebody you're dating, like it could be somebody you're working with, it could be your mom, whatever it is. Women want to feel that they can freely and safely express their emotions at the moment. And when you're making it about you and getting upset and getting triggered, oh man, that's why guys think women are crazy. They're not crazy, they're just coming. That's how they express what they're feeling, what they're thinking. It's through their emotions, and sometimes it gets really heightened. And that's just what happens. And the best thing you can do as a guy is to remain centered. Would objective be the word? Yeah, you can remain objective as well, but don't make it about you. Realize that you need to be present in the moment. That's what she wants. And you got to give that to her. Whatever it is, even if it's her crying for 5 minutes and not being able to express through words, you sit there with her, you sit there, you remain present, you show her that you're immovable, that you're not going anywhere. And eventually you ask her, how are you doing? How did that make you feel? What's happening? I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. All that. So, and then this happened yesterday. I was driving another girl, and it was a long ride. This was like almost a 50-minute ride. So it's like, you can't sit in silence. You got to talk about something. And she was very, very open about many things in her life. And she brought up her ex-boyfriend, who apparently keeps knocking on her door, so to speak. And apparently he's older. I think he's older by like 3 or 4 years. And reason why, it doesn't work out is because she feels like she's a mom towards him. And she's like, I already have 2 kids. I don't want a 3rd kid, and especially don't want you to be the 3rd kid. It's women have their own stuff. We all have our own things to go through. I mean, guys as well. I mean, some guys, well, you look for a project, and some guys seek that in women, where it's like they want to fix her. I can be the knight in shining armor, like all that, the white knight, and it never ends well, because what is the old saying? It's like, you can't change anybody. Like the only way they're going to change is if they want to change themselves. So, without beating a dead horse, I think that's the saying. It's just so important. It's so important. That's why a lot of people make fun of people who follow self-growth and personal growth and all that. But the only reason why is because they're afraid of actually making those same actions and actually seeing changes in their life. It's tough. Personal growth is really difficult because you have to face so many of your weaknesses. Realizing your strengths as well, but you have to realize your weaknesses. And it's like, this is why during 2020, I don't really consider it a horrible year. It was difficult, but I saw it as an amazing opportunity to look at myself and see, whether you want to call it the darkness, your weaknesses, your weak points. It really allowed me to understand my triggers and then release them. That's the thing. People say, oh, it stays with you forever. No. If you want to believe that it stays with you forever, that's fine. But when you go deep and when you live in the moment and when you have a reaction and then you stop and you're like, hold on a second. As I say, you take that bird's eye view, you look at the situation, you're like, all right, this person just said this to me and I reacted this way. Why did I react that way? And then you think about the last time maybe you had that reaction. What was that situation like? And then you keep going back, and eventually you end up realizing that there was a moment in your life when you're 5, 8, whatever it is, and it's like the first time you felt that. And when you realize that, you remember, you can picture that moment, whoever was there, whatever happened. and you look at yourself, your 5-year-old self, and you speak to it. Because it's still there. You're visualizing it, but it's in your subconscious. It's stuck in your body, that energy, all that. It's stuck in you. It's there. So when you speak to your 5-year-old self, when you say, hey, look, I totally understand why you felt that way. But let me tell you, everything's okay. That person was going through this, and they were feeling this. It had nothing to do with you. And guess what? You're going to turn out great. Everything's going to be fine. You are going to make it through. And you say, I love you. I love you so much. And if you have to, just do this, because again, that's a feeling. You're bringing this energy into you and bringing it out and cleansing that pain. So I don't know if this was going to be a video about, dating advice or whichever, but it all mixes in with mindsets, triggers, shadow work, dating, understanding women, understanding yourself. It's just, no matter whether you're a guy or a girl, it's so important to understand your triggers and understand where you're coming from. Because then you realize, other people, it kind of helps you to put yourself in other people's shoes. Maybe you don't totally understand their position, but you understand that it's about them. It's not about you, and vice versa. When you get upset with people, you end up realizing, it's like, oh man, I didn't mean that. And you quickly catch yourself and you apologize. You're like, I'm so sorry. I'm going through something. That was all me. You didn't deserve that. So whether you're an Uber driver, a server, a flight attendant, whatever, I hope this helps. And if you're a girl or woman or that has a boyfriend or a girlfriend that leans more on has more of a masculine essence, and you think this video would help them, help you both, definitely feel free to share that with them. And definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you get the notification when a new video pops up. Have an amazing week. I'll talk to you soon.